You found it. Your home for the best content on your favorite team, the Fighting Tigers of LSU. Do us a favor. Subscribe to the channel. Leave your comments below. And be sure to smash that like button. Coach, we appreciate a couple of minutes. How are you?
Good, man. Good. Doing great.
I'm sure you are preparing for a national championship series. If I asked you to encapsulate the last 10 days in Omaha or thereabouts, what's it been like for you and the guys?
Well, first things first, what a joy it is to be back with just the team. And I go back to 2023, and honestly, from a personal standpoint, there's a lot. I remember a lot from that time in Omaha. But there's a lot of it that seemed like a blur. Coming back a second time, that was my first time in 23. Coming back a second time, I really get a chance to have an idea of understanding what it looks like in terms of the day-to-day and all the things that go into being in Omaha and playing for a championship. And so I get it. And so now I'm able that I know kind of the routine, the systems, what to expect, and now I can just enjoy the joy of our players, how much they're enjoying this and how much they're enjoying being together and competing in the moments and the memories. And not only what happens on the field, but in the hotel at the, yesterday at the pep rally where our fans showed up and were unbelievable. All those things go into the experience. And when you talk back and you look at your career as a player and you look at your career as a coach and you sit there and go, wow, there's a lot that goes into it, and there's a lot that maybe people don't understand. They see what happens on the field, and those moments are awesome. The other night, I mean, I've never been part of a game like that in my entire life, but there's a lot of really special stuff that happens in Omaha. It's just really, really cool to experience with our players.
Coach, you do a lot with the catchers, and have done an amazing job with a guy that didn't catch a whole lot last year, has come over here and really been the mainstay behind the plate. What has Luis Hernandez meant to this team so far?
He's probably the most underrated player that we have. I don't think guys really understand, meaning fans, I don't think people really understand the value and what he brings to the table. And I will echo what Coach Johnson said. It became very clear to me in kind of the later preseason, like when Coach Johnson said, like, he's the right guy for this team. He really, really is. He is a selfless guy. He wants to win very, very badly. And, he is a hard worker and he is a baseball player. But more importantly, you win and get to this point in a season because you do have talent, but you also have to have the right people. And we have the right people, and Luis Hernandez is the right person for this team behind the plate. And he does an unbelievable job. And, the work and the things we've asked of him, to your point, not an everyday catcher last year. And you look at the bulk of the catching down the stretch here that he's done, it's really remarkable. And it's because of some of the things I challenged you with in terms of hydration, nutrition, and recovery, and things that he needs to get better at. And then ultimately some things mechanically that we worked on, too, to try to clean up and make sure that he was able to do the job he needed to do for our pitching staff back there. But it goes back to the person. There's not a better person on our team in terms of wanting to win, care for others, and competitive spirit.
Coach, I played for a lot of wonderful coaches and Hall of Famers, really. We go through the list all the time. It's truly amazing. And some awesome third base coaches as well. I got to ask you this question because I've had some good ones. The wave and the guy home thing. Do you practice that? Like, did you ever do you get in a mirror and go, okay, this is too much?
Is the big windmill?
Like the big one? Yeah. Because, I mean, it's a big deal now.
Honestly, I will say this. The best things happen when they happen from passion, and I'll use you as an example. The image that I remember when I think of LSU and game winners, and I mean this because it shows up on our video board a lot, is you sliding in and firing that helmet to the backstop. You didn't practice that. That was raw emotion.
Yeah, man.
That's right.
And I love the opportunity to wave guys. I do, because that means the Tigers are about to score, and I'm fired up. I coach our players. I love our players. I'm hard on our players. all those things, but I'm also a big fan of our players. Mm-hmm. And when something good happens for them, like I get really passionate and emotional about it. And so I think it just happens naturally, man. I just get excited. I definitely don't practice it, because if I did, it might look cooler at times. You know?
It's just, do we go the big windmill? Do we go with the quarter windmill? Do we pointing and waving at the same time? You know, just got a lot of options.
You guys know if I'm not real animated, people will let me know about it.
That's right.
You know?
That's
right. So I have to be really animated.
Josh Jordan is our guest. Good enough to join us with the Tigers up there in Omaha here the day before the championship series begins. Look, the setup for this one, Coach, is different than in 23. You've got Anderson and Einson queued up, whereas 2 years ago you had to get Floyd to win that first game because Paul wasn't available. As a coaching staff, how much, when you talk about strategizing for this weekend, is it different from 2 years ago with how you're preparing this time for Coastal?
I don't think it's any different in terms of the level of preparation. No one in college baseball, and I mean this, the minute Coach Johnson, I think he said he stayed up and ate pizza with Trey the other night in the hotel, but I promise the minute his eye opened the next day, Coach Johnson, and I know this because he called early, he was already thinking about this weekend and all the things we need to do from a pitching standpoint, from an offensive standpoint, all the practice, what we need to do literally the next day in terms of just making sure our guys were recovering the right way. And in terms of preparation and how he goes about his business, Coach Johnson is as boring as it comes. And what I mean by that is it's at a high level, and he prepares for everything constantly. So there's never a what are we doing here, doing there? It's always just a relentless level of preparation that he does. And it's one of the reasons and one of the things that I came here to work for him for that reason, to learn just how he works and to learn how he does things. And so the answer to that is no. It's not. Now, do you like to think that we're probably, pitching wise, we're set up a little bit better than we were in 23? No doubt. That being said, it's hard. I would tell you, winning these games are hard. I don't care who it is and how your pitching is set up. We're gonna get Coastal's best punch. They're a well coached team. They do a lot of things offensively to try to make you uncomfortable, and we're gonna have to be prepared to defend and execute.
Coach, you talked about Jay quite a bit there with some great praise. All the championship teams that I've ever been on, the coaching staff, and this isn't talked about a whole lot, but the coaching staff had great relationships amongst the guys. They ate dinner together. They were always in each other's offices. They were truly friends, and they cared about each other. And I think the same thing is true for business and in any walk of life. If you want to have success, you have to have those good relationships. It just seems to me that coaching staff, whether it be guys that are titled, but also assistants and any of the student guys helping. I mean, it seems like a pretty awesome unit. Am I right in assuming that?
100%, and that starts with Jay. I mean, the guy, this, Coach Johnson, there's no ego. There's not. He just wants to get it right. He doesn't care who has the answer or how we go about it in terms of getting to that point. I mean, our staff meetings, everybody's engaged. Everybody has a voice. He listens, and then he takes that information we provide, and he demands that we be prepared for those meetings, and he takes what we need, and he tries to apply it. And honestly, the same thing goes with our players and just the managers. I don't want to be the guy, and no one on our staff wants to be the guy. I know Coach Johnson doesn't want us to be that guy. And you know this, Ryan, when he starts walking towards you, oh, geez, here he comes. You just don't want to be that coach.
No, you don't want to be the Nick Saban.
You don't want to be that person. And so, do we demand a lot of them? Most definitely. I think there's evidence of that. That being said, we still want to make sure we have strong relationships because we are in the people business first. And you have to care about your people to get the most out of them. You do. And you have to be personable, and you have to be able to relate. And I mean, heck, just before I jumped on this call here with you guys, I was doing a one-on-one meeting with the player. That's important to us. And so, you have to extend, and that's what I enjoy about the job. It really isn't. I enjoy waving guys home because that means we're scoring, but I enjoy the time with the players more than anything. They keep you young, and they're why we do this. They really are.
Josh Jordan is our guest. Coach, but one more before you go. It's interesting you mentioned meeting with a player. I mean, part of your role, obviously, is a recruiting coordinator, and I would imagine that this is incredible for the program being in Omaha on the verge of a championship series, but this is also an integral part in building the roster for next year. So can you maybe just shed a little light on how you all are managing that component of roster building while trying to win a national championship?
Yeah, good question. It's tough, Coach. What you really do is you're juggling a lot of balls, and you have to figure out which ones on certain days you can afford to drop, so to speak. And so you look and go, okay, when do we turn off the preparation and flip back to recruiting? And how you compartmentalize is really important. The nice thing about it is, and I know Coach Johnson and myself feel this way about recruiting, it is the responsibility of everyone associated with the program to recruit. And that includes our fans. The things that I've been sharing with recruits from Omaha, they've seen the highlights in games, but a lot of what I've been sharing with them is the job that our fans are doing here in Omaha of supporting our players, and the job and the resources that we have for our players while we're in Omaha. And so you have to make sure that you're communicating with those guys constantly during this time, knowing that you have to have breaks, and those recruits understand. Anyone that values winning, and that's the type of recruit that we want in our program, understands that we've got a job to do of winning the national championship. And the best recruiting is winning this thing, and 2 in the last 3 years, and that's a really good recruiting pitch.
And amid all of it, you still had some time to take our phone call, which we're very grateful for. So
Love to.
we're gonna let you get back to it. Good luck. Everybody here, of course, is pulling for you. We'll look forward to do it again soon, Coach. Thank you.
Thank you, Coach.
No, I know that, and go Tigers, and great to hear from you guys.
Hey, thanks so much for watching. Please leave your comments. I love to interact, and be sure to hit the red subscribe button below.